From X Plus comes an exciting and unexpected new announcement in the form of the X Plus 25cm Godzilla 1962 reissue, but with a slight twist. At the time of this recording, this announcement came about a day ago, so it's pretty fresh. I wanted to do a video on this just because it's a pretty cool announcement for a figure that I've always had my eyes on, but just never was able to get because by the time I started collecting, the 62 25cm Godzilla, I think, was already released well before I started collecting. And all the pictures and footage that I have here comes directly from Jeremy Souls of X Plus. They have a booth currently at Comic Palooza in Texas, so that's where this footage and imagery is coming from. This figure is newly announced, was put on display at this booth, and it will be available for pre-order soon at this new X Plus USA website. So for those who are not familiar with the matter, I believe in the past month, X Plus had been teasing that they're going to be opening a new US-based website for us collectors to, I guess, purchase figures more directly and perhaps at a cheaper price. I don't know the full extent of this website, but this is going to be the first figure that coincides with the grand opening of the X Plus USA website. So let's actually take a closer look at the figure itself. To clarify, this is the existing 25cm Godzilla 1962 sculpt that came out years back. For those collectors who know better than me, please comment below when the initial release was for this figure because I'm not too sure. But this is one of those sculpts that I absolutely love. The 62 Godzilla design is one of my favorites. I say that about a lot of Godzilla designs, but definitely one of my favorites. This reissue has, I guess, what you would call sort of like a referential paint scheme to those Imperial Godzilla figures that some of you collectors may be familiar with. So this version of Godzilla here is done in a very vintage looking dark green with some black and silver sprays and red lips. So if you already have this figure, you already have a sense of the dimensions, the sculpt itself, and the pose. But just to kind of give fellow collectors here a bit of some commentary, we have Godzilla in this very grabby pose, very akin to what he looks like in the actual 1962 film. X Plus really nailed this sculpt. I think it's such a great looking figure. And we can see as we go through these different images here, we do have some nice angles so we can kind of get a full sense of what it will look like, including this video footage that we have here that kind of just zooms into the figure. Now, I don't have too much to say about this figure since it is a reissue, and many collectors are probably already familiar with this one, but I do think that aside from this specific figure itself, just the announcement of this figure coinciding with X Plus North America as a concept here is a really exciting opportunity maybe for us X Plus collectors to get our hands on maybe future reissues of other figures that we've never gotten our hands on. And what's really appealing about this release, based on the listing that I saw from X Plus North America on Facebook, the MSRP for this figure is going to be $139.99 USD. So that is, I'm going to say it, kind of dirt cheap for a 25cm X Plus figure. I don't know how much shipping will be. I guess we'll find that out once these pre-orders become available. I'm sure shipping will be calculated maybe when you go to make that purchase. But this is a very appealing retail price for us US collectors here. And of course, I understand when you're buying overseas in Japan, the yen can be cheaper, so you get figures for their base price, but then you have to pay for shipping or a proxy service. So I'm not sure if like this X Plus US site will kind of be the middle ground now for us collectors, so we don't have to go through all that and we can get our figures for reasonable prices without much more of a price hike. Time will tell. I don't really know the full details of the website, but once it goes live, I'm sure there will be future videos I make of upcoming figures that are going to be either reissues or new announcements. And then just to talk about this figure again specifically, what's so great about this reissue is because I've seen this figure listed for $600-700 on collecting groups on eBay. Just aftermarket prices on this sculpt here are so high. So to see the price as it is, that's really exciting. For a reissue, it's nice that they changed up the paint scheme, especially doing one as unique as this. I think that's pretty cool. With that said, as great as this one looks, if I do get this figure, I'm very tempted to just do a repaint to make it more screen accurate to what it looks like in the film. I love the 62 Godzilla colors because it's very dusty looking. But outside of that, I don't have too much more commentary to give with this figure. We're kind of just recycling through this footage that we have here. Of course, we'll get those like official product listing images on the website probably soon. I don't think we have a specific date of when these pre-orders will go live, but as we see here, it will be at xplusna.com that you can pre-order this figure. So keep an eye out on the website. Last I checked, still at the time of this recording, it's still not live yet. It's been in the works for about a month, but I am excited to see what other announcements come out of this. Let me know what you think about this reissue. What are your thoughts on this X Plus North America announcement? What else do you expect to see? Will you be getting this figure? Leave all your thoughts and comments down below. And if you're new to the channel and you like the content, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and taking a look at my other Godzilla figure content on the channel as well. Lastly, thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.